Welcome back. By now, we're into it, and I hope that the fact that you opened up this video means you're getting some value and that you can't wait to hear the tips that I have for you today. Today is all about time management. If I had to guess, I would say this is one of the things that will resonate most with you. I'm going to teach you some amazing new ways that you can manage your time so that you can carve out precious space for the things that light your heart up. And this isn't going to be painful and it isn't going to cost money. Because listen, I know that you're constantly overloaded with tasks and I know that you're struggling to get everything done in 24 hours. I know this because you aren't alone. All mamas feel this way. I'm not a betting man, but I would put money on it that every single mama in this world and in history has felt overwhelmed with the tasks on her plate and wants to spend more time on herself. We carry the full mental load of our families. We work either outside or inside the home, and we typically carry the heavier share of household and parenting responsibilities. That's just reality. I don't like it, but that's how it is for me and my friends and my cousins and my coworkers and for every stranger that I meet who's unlucky enough to get sucked into a conversation with me. But seriously, we do it all. But we don't get any more time to do it in. I've been where you are, struggling to try to fit it all in, feeling like a failure because you can't do it all. I've made all the common mistakes, including sacrificing sleep, multitasking, and obsessive list making. And then I did research into ways that I could intentionally add time to my day. I got obsessed with learning about habits and how we can make small tweaks to the way that we do things to save ourselves a tremendous amount of time, which could then be spent on whatever we want. Being intentional in all aspects of my life is the secret sauce on how I'm able to create the extra time that I need without actually adding hours to the clock. Now, I know I said this was about time management, and it is, but more importantly, this video is going to focus on intentionality and living with intention. Here we go again with woo-woo buzzwords. I know, and I'm sorry, but even if this stuff wasn't all the rage right now, I would still be telling you about it because it's a powerful tool that you can add to your toolkit and will help you in literally all areas of your life. So, intentionality. What the heck is it? It's also referred to as purpose, and it's talked about in personal development circles with regards to achieving your goals. I like this definition. Intention is a mental state that represents a commitment to carrying out an action in the future. I like this definition because it talks about your mental state. See why we started with mindset? And it talks about commitment and taking action, which ties into habits, which we'll talk about more later on. And also, it talks about the future, which puts the focus on planning and goal setting and really deciding in advance where you want your life to go. Living intentionally means that you're constantly aware of and planning out how you'll show up in every area of your life. And when you focus on how you want to show up, it forces you to be present and mindful. Huh. Sounding familiar? So, how do we do it? What does it look like in action? Basically, you think about the things that you want to do in each area of your life. You plan out how you need to show up in those areas to move you closer towards your goal, and then you focus on being present to ensure that you're living up to your own intentions for that situation. Now, much like gratitude and mindfulness, this is hard to do at first, and it feels weird, and it takes practice to get good at it. The trick is to focus in advance on the outcome that you want to achieve, and it really helps to visualize it too. Maybe that's taking things just a bit too far for you, but hey, if the pro athletes do it, it's good enough for me. It's super important that you take some time to get clear on what it is that you really want out of your life and why that outcome is important to you. Once you're clear on your why, your goals are so important to you, you've got to be ruthless with your time. Every single activity is either moving you closer to or further from your goals. And I know it sounds harsh, but it really is helpful to think in this black and white binary way. Decide right now not to waste any more of your precious time on anything that isn't moving you closer to the life that you want. Identify the gray areas in your life and make it a hell yes or a hell no. When you make this a non-negotiable practice in terms of how you spend your time, you can totally ditch any feelings of guilt that come up. Just focus your energy on the things that matter most to you, like your family, your relationships, your health, writing that book, whatever it is, and say no to the rest. If it doesn't serve your why, it doesn't deserve your time. Period. I hope that you're feeling super pumped now and ready to create more time to do the things that are important to you. It's time for my ultimate list of time hacks. Number 1, identify things that you can make a decision on once and never have to think about it again. This can be something like making Friday pizza night, or doing your groceries on Monday afternoons, or always wearing a dress on Wednesdays. You get the idea. Decision fatigue is a real problem in our modern world, and even the seemingly insignificant decisions that we make on a daily basis can really add up and zap our precious energy and brain power. So do yourself a solid and set some standards for yourself so that you can free up that beautiful brain and focus on more important things than what's for dinner. Number 2, choose your outfits for the entire week on Sunday night. Bonus points if you have pieces that can be mixed and matched. Just set the week's wardrobe out somewhere that you can see it, and each morning it'll give you tons of extra time choosing an outfit because you've already thoughtfully narrowed down your options. And this gets even easier as the week goes on and you have fewer things to choose from. Number 3, put a timer on your social media use. I know this one seems like a no-brainer, but you honestly need to give it a try. Some people like the screen time function on your cell phone, but I personally find it way too easy to just adjust and override that. Another way is to simply set an actual timer, like I use the kitchen stove, set it to a predetermined time limit, and when the timer goes off, put the phone down and get back to work, or parenting, or chores, or whatever real life responsibility that you were taking a break from. Having a specific time set aside for social media means that you can focus your responsibilities when you need to without distraction, and then you can be fully present in your social media scroll when you're intentionally taking time for that. Consider adding social media as an actual appointment in your calendar. Another trick I like is putting my phone on airplane mode when I'm not in social media time. So the trick is really giving yourself a set time to take that social media break so that you aren't always yearning for it while you're trying to get actual work done. And then you can scroll guilt-free when it's designated social media time. Time hack number 4. Let's pause here because I want to take a moment and call out one of the biggest lies that we've all been told and believe, that multitasking is a good way to get more done. It's not. Don't do it. Focus your attention on one thing at a time, get it done, and move on. It takes a surprising amount of mental energy to switch your focus mid-task and then switch back again. So be smart and stay focused. You'll cross things off your list way faster, which can serve as a fuel that you need to keep the momentum going. Number 5, double up on your downtime. It's a great way to fit more into your day. Tony Robbins calls it net time, as in no extra time, N-E-T, net. So try to listen to a podcast in the car on your commute, or use that drive time to call a friend. If you're sitting in traffic, just call and make that doctor's appointment that you've been putting off. Hands-free, of course. Fold the laundry when you're watching TV. Pop on some headphones and listen to a podcast when you walk your dog or do the dishes. Shameless plug, why not tune into the Grow Like a Mother podcast hosted by yours truly? There's just so many moments throughout our day that we could be using more wisely to fit in the things that we want to accomplish, but we never have time for. One disclaimer here. Don't double up on the time that you're with your kids. Be present with them because they can really tell when you're not. Number 6. This one really isn't a time management hack, but more of a tip. A quick reframe can change everything. The next time that you find yourself saying, I don't have time for that, instead, rephrase it and say out loud, this isn't important to me. And see how that makes you feel. Game changer. Instead of saying, I don't have time to work out, say, moving my body and getting healthy isn't important to me. How does that feel? Sometimes we really don't feel like the things that we're not making time for are important. And that's okay. That just makes it a hell no. Knowing when something isn't important can help you ditch the guilt about not doing that thing. Whew, that was a lot to take in. And I hope I didn't overwhelm you, but I really wanted to be able to share with you some of the tools that I use to create extra time in my day and use that time to be super intentional about what I want to get done. Oh, and don't forget, it can't all be work and no play. So, when you take the intentional time to rest, relax, or simply just be and have fun, be fully present for that too. This is super important to allow you to recharge, fill your cup, and spend time with those you love. Because at the end of the day, isn't that our biggest goal?